I think it must be every musician's dream to be asked to perform at Stonehenge. And this dream did come true for me in 2009 during my time as artistic director of the Salisbury Festival. The idea was to create a piece for Stonehenge rather than just play any old piece and plonk it in front of the stones. With my co-writers, Judith Seelig and Tom Morrison, we created, I think it was a half an hour piece called Song for Stonehenge. And Judith wrote some wonderful lyrics. If the stones could speak, what would they say that they had seen during their lifetime? And we set this to a sort of soundscape of Indian percussion and electric guitars. And then I asked Nina Rajarani to choreograph a piece for her Shrishti dancers. They were dressed in bright red colours. One of the things I really remember clearly was that because it was dusk, us performers had the sun shining into our faces. But as the sun set behind the audience members' shadows slowly grew bigger and bigger and longer, and then eventually engulfed us. And that whole time of the evening was very magical. The colours changed from sort of orangey, crimsony reds to a sort of darker hue of that. But the contrasting colours were so amazing with the dancers and the grass. And it was absolutely magical. I think definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Probably something that could not happen again. I think I really thank English Heritage and Maria for accepting my request to perform in the Stones. Nowadays, as many people have visited Stonehenge, you'll see that there's a cordoned rope around the stones now, so you can't even go close to touch them. But I remember when I was about 11 years old, my father took me to Stonehenge, and in those days, you could definitely go up to the rocks and sit on some of the smaller stones. But that's now a thing of the past. So an incredible experience, great working to create a piece for that evening, and something that I never will ever forget as long as I live. So thank you to Salisbury Festival and to English Heritage and to all the musicians and Nina Rajarani. Thank you.
The Stonehenge performance with Kuljit was one of the most memorable projects I've ever done. The challenges of it in terms of it being quite spontaneous on the day, and the fact that we really didn't know how it was going to come together on the day, was the most exciting part, I think, of the whole process. We created the dance element in a dance studio with very little idea as to how the formations, the spatial arrangements would actually work in the space. We did have a site visit, and there was some vague idea, but how it would actually translate when we had all the dancers in the space was something that was just left to the performance itself. So it was exciting. It was quite nerve-wracking for the dancers. In that space and to have the opportunity to perform in between the stones at Stonehenge was something quite unimaginable. And even now when I speak to people about it, they're quite surprised and saying, wow, you actually managed to perform on the grass between the stones. So there was a huge wow factor to the whole thing.
The sky was clear, crystal, vibrant blue. The grass was a bright green, and there was this sun shining this golden warmth on these huge stones. It was as if there was this light and warmth emanating from these huge stones. And then in contrast to that, behind the stones, there was the casting of a very deep, dark shadow. That worked on me. That whole idea actually had an effect on me that evening, and that's something that I won't forget. I feel that we were graced by the sun. So what really struck me in that whole experience was not so much the presence of the stones themselves, but more I was struck by the presence of the sun.
Thanks to Kuljit Bhamra, who invited me to join with the performance team to play a little bit of rhythm. I just love the atmosphere, the spirituality, the weather that day was really spectacular, the sunset was beautiful, the overall atmosphere was really, really great. I was gobsmacked by the choreography as well, that all the dancers, the way they ended it appears from the audience perspective that they disappear into the storm. It was really great.